Yo, what's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, Jay Briggs here from Pickdawgz.com, bringing y'all my NBA Jam session for December 2nd, 2022. If you're looking for more of this great content, man, y'all know what to do. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Drop who y'all like down in the comments as well. Y'all know I love going through, seeing who y'all like in the comments. But if you're looking for my best bets, the bets that I'm placing today, as well as best bets from the top handicappers on the planet, check us out over at Pickdawgz.com. Click that premium picks tab, and that's where you'll find best bets from the top handicappers in the world. Link to my $15 NBA Jam Session plays in the description. That's my best bet in the NBA every night, man. $15. Scoop that up. Let's continue to stack units in the NBA. Follow me on Twitter at ParlayGuyJ, man. That's where I release the parlay of the day. That's where I update y'all on any late information, like injuries and if guys are in or out. And that's also where I can let y'all know if my mind changes on any of these games that I release on the Jam Session due to late information. As y'all know, this video comes out early in the morning. So follow me there on Twitter. Huge card tonight, man. Not my favorite card tonight, but huge card. I think there's definitely some spots for us to attack. So without further ado, man, let's hop right in and do just that. In our first matchup of the night, man, we got the Washington Wizards on the road facing the Charlotte Hornets. Washington road favorites laying 2.5, total 221.5. At first glance, when I looked at this one, I was like, whoa, Wizards only laying 2.5? But then I had to go look at it a little deeper. Washington really hasn't been playing good basketball recently. They're 11-11 on the season, but they've only won one of their last 5 matchups. This will be their 5th of 6 games on the road. They've been on the road here for a while. The one win that they have in their last 5 was the stop at home against Minnesota. Now they're back out on the road. They lost to Brooklyn in their last one on the road, 113-107. I'm going to lean Washington here in this one. I think they're the better team. Charlotte's struggling right now as well. They've won 2 of their last 5, but they got took behind the shed by Boston in their last one. But Boston doing that to everybody. 140-105. Before that loss, they had won back-to-back games above Minnesota and Philly. They just played this Washington team on November 20th in a 4-point Washington win. That one was in Washington. So 2 of their last 5 for the Charlotte team, 6-15 on the season. No LaMelo, no Dennis Smith. Only person on the injury report for the Wizards is Hachimura. I'm going to lean towards the Wizards in this one. I'll lay the points. I think they're the better team. I know they don't play their best basketball on the road, and they've been on a little slide here, but this should be a get-right spot for them. Give me the Wizards. I'll lay the bucket here. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Denver Nuggets on the road facing the Atlanta Hawks. Denver, road favorites laying 2.5, total 231.5. Interesting matchup we got here, man. Denver has been pretty hot, man. They've won 4 of their last 5. They do got some injuries, though. Jamal Murray day-to-day, but he's probable. Michael Porter Jr. looks like he's out. Jeff Green looks like he's out. Atlanta also dealing with some injuries. Jalen Johnson day-to-day. Looks like Justin Holiday is out. Frank Kaminsky day-to-day. John Collins looks like he's out for this one. So does DeAndre Hunter. I'll update y'all on Twitter if they update anything on those guys. Like I said, though, this Nuggets team has been pretty hot. They've won 4 of their last 5 games. They've won 4 straight. But I'm not in love with this competition, and I think the Hawks are a definite step up in competition in what they've played here recently. Let me list off their last 5 games. I know they've won 4 straight, but let me list them off. Houston at home. Houston at home. The Clippers without Paul George and Kawhi. Oklahoma City Thunder. And the Detroit Pistons were the Nuggets' last 5 games. You should come out of that winning 4 of your last 5. You really should have won 5 of 5, in my opinion. I know that y'all were kind of banged up too, missing some guys in that span, but I mean, you played the bottom doormat of the league for the last 5 games. You should have looked good in that span. Here tonight on the road facing the Hawks team, which I know I love taking at home, in a spot where they lost their last home game to Miami. They've only won 2 of their last 5. Only 2 games above 500. I like this as a get-right spot for the Hawks. Definite step up in class for the Nuggets. I don't know if they're ready to step up here on the road on a Friday night. I'm going to take the plus money here with the Atlanta Hawks. Take them on the money line. I think they get this one done here at home. Give me the Hawks here on the money line here in this one. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Miami Heat on the road facing the Boston Celtics. Celtics laying 8.5, total 224.5. We just seen this same matchup the other night when what was that, like 2 days ago? We just seen this matchup in a game where Boston beat them pretty good, 134-121. Here in this one, short, sweet, and simple. It's Boston for me, or it's no play. I couldn't go sharp and take Miami in this one. I just couldn't do it. There's no way I could fade this Boston team right now. I was kind of fading them at the beginning of this streak. I've learned my lesson now. Not fading them. It's a them or no play for me in this one. Let me just list off their last few games, and you tell me if you think it's a smart decision to go sharp and fade Boston tonight. They just played this Miami team 2 days ago, beat them 134-121. Before that, they played Charlotte 140-105. Before that, they played Washington 130-121. Before that, they played Sacramento 122-104. Before that, they played Dallas 125-112. Boston is just doing it to everybody, bro. They're steamrolling teams in their path. I'm not jumping in front of them here tonight. Celtics, lay the points or no play. Only way to go for me here in this one. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Toronto Raptors on the road facing the Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn home favorites laying 2.5, total 223. Interesting matchup, man. Brooklyn has been playing some very good basketball here recently. They've won 4 of their last 5 under Zach Vaughn, man. Since they fired Steve Nash, this team has done a complete 180. That was a good hire for them. I thought they should have went and got Udoka, but Vaughn stepped right in there, took advantage of his opportunity, and he's running with it, man. They've won 4 of their last 5. They won 3 straight. Their last 3 were Washington, Orlando, and Portland. The Toronto Raptors have kind of been struggling here recently. They've only won 2 of their last 5. They dropped their last one on the road to the Pelicans. I know this Raptors team typically plays their better basketball at home, but I'm going to take a shot with them here on the money line in Brooklyn. I know Brooklyn went in there and beat them on the 23rd of November. They went into Toronto and beat them 112-98. I think the Raptors can get some get back here in this one. They're getting back healthy, getting their guys back. The Nets, to me, in my opinion, are one of the teams, just when you start believing in them again, they show you why. All right, here they go. I think that could be kind of the case here. Not my favorite game on the board, just a lean. But if I were to play this one, of course, I would try to get a little plus money and take the Raptors on the money line. I think they can get this one done here tonight. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Orlando Magic on the road facing the Cleveland Cavs. Cavs laying 10, total 215. Y'all know where I'm at in this one, man. I'm going to take the Cavs at home, even though typically I don't like laying double digits. I know I tell you that all the time, but I think in this spot it's warranted. The Magic on the road are terrible. I mean, they've been pretty bad at home here recently as well, but on the road they really don't play that well. The Cavs at home have just stomped down on everybody in their path. Let's go through the Cavs' last few home games. They just played at home on Wednesday against the 76ers. They beat them 113-85 in that one. They were on a 3-game road trip before that one, so their last home game was the Wednesday before that. They played the Blazers. They beat them 114-96. The game before that, they played the Hawks at home. They beat them 114-102. The game before that, they had the Heat at home. They beat them 113-87. The game before that, they had the Hornets at home. They beat them 132-122. That's 5 straight games at home with the Cavs winning by 10 or more. I definitely think they can do it here to this Magic team. So that's where I'll be. Lay the 10 with Cleveland. They go crazy at home. They got some injuries in this one. Orlando does too, and I think the Cavs are still a much better team. They still have the offensive firepower with Mitchell and Garland. So I'll lay the 10 here with Cavs here at home. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Los Angeles Lakers on the road facing the Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee laying 8.5, total 228. I'm going to take the Bucks in this one at home, man. I'm still not there with this Lakers team. Even though they have been playing some better basketball here recently, 8-12 on the season. They've won 3 of their last 5. But as I keep saying, the Lakers have been playing better basketball. And I told y'all they were going to go on a streak of playing some good basketball. But it was mainly just due to their schedule. Like, I think everybody's just sipping this Lakers Kool-Aid right now. Let me go back and list off the games the Lakers have played. They're not playing great competition. They beat the Blazers without Lillard, who have been really struggling here recently. They lost to the Pacers in a game. They were up 15 in the fourth quarter and lost on a buzzer beater to the Pacers. They beat the Spurs twice. Whoop-de-doo. Looks like the worst team in the NBA behind the Rockets. They lost to the Suns on the road. Beat the Spurs again. So 3 of those wins are against the San Antonio Spurs. They beat the Pistons. They beat the Nets. I guess it's a solid win. Lost to the Kings. But you see what I'm saying? Like, they have won a few of those games, but they're all against lackluster competition. I think the Bucks here at home, this one could get pretty ugly. Middleton looks like he might be back for this one as well. Give me the Bucks, man. Give me Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think he tries to prove a statement here tonight against this Lakers team. Passing of the torch. If that's how I would look at it if I was Giannis. I got Braun coming into my building. I got to put on a show, and I think he does just that. Give me the Bucks. I'll lay the points here in this one. Still not a believer in this Lakers, especially not on the road facing a dominant team like this Milwaukee team. I got to fade them. I'll lay the points with Milwaukee here in this. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Philadelphia 76ers on the road facing the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis at home favorites, laying 5.5, total 219.5. Interesting matchup, man. Philly looks like Joel Embiid will play for this one. But they got beat handedly in their last one on the road against Cleveland, 113-85. And I'm not in love with this spot in another road game against another quality team in the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm going to have to lay the points with Memphis here in this one. Memphis also just lost their last one to Minnesota on the road, 109-101. But we know this Memphis team plays their best basketball at home, back in front of their home crowd. Ja Morant's so electric. This building is going to be rocking tonight in Memphis. I like this as a bounce-back spot for the Grizzlies, who have been kind of struggling here recently. They've only won 2 of their last 5. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Grizzlies here tonight. I'm going to lay the points. I'm not in love with the spot for the Sixers. They're one of the hardest teams to gauge. Still no Harden for them. Still no Maxey for them. Tobias Harris looks like he's also day-to-day for this one. No Bane for the Grizzlies, but I just think the Grizzlies are the play here. Back at home, I love this as a bounce-back spot for them. So give me the Grizzlies. I'll lay the points with them here in this matchup tonight. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Pelicans on the road facing the Spurs. Pelicans road favorites laying 7.5, total 231.5. Pelicans have been playing some really good basketball here recently, man, winning 4 of their last 5. Dominating in 3 of the last 5, winning those by 15 or more points, including a win over this same San Antonio Spurs here on the road. That game was in San Antonio like this one is as well. They won that one 129-110. But the Pelicans in this one, I know they're playing good basketball, but they're pretty banged up right now. Ingram looks like he's out. Their best defender, Herbert Jones, looks like he's going to be out for this one. McCollum could make his return back in the lineup for this one. I know Zion has been playing at a high level. We've been on the Pelicans here, quite a few here recently. But I feel like this could be a trap spot, man, and this could be a spot where we got to hold our nose and take the Spurs. That's what I'm going to do, man. They're still an NBA team. They're on a 9-game slide. They're aware of that. They got to get going here soon. We don't need them to win. We just need them to cover. The Pelicans really banged up on the road here in this one. I don't love the spot for them. Come on, San Antonio. Keep this one close for us. Not my favorite game here tonight, but I just think this could be a trap spot. So I'll lean towards the Spurs plus the points here in this matchup tonight. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Houston Rockets on the road facing the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix home favorites laying 11.5, total 229.5. Y'all know me, man. Typically, I'm all over the Suns here at home. And they've been dominant here recently, man. They've won six games straight. 4 of those 5 looks like they were at home. It looks like they covered in 3 of those 5. Playing some really good basketball, man. I love playing the Suns at home, man. They achieved the number 1 seed last season, and you do that by playing really good home basketball, defending home court. Went to the finals the year before. Really good Suns team, man. Really good Suns team. And I know Devin Booker went for 51 in his last one, but I don't know. I think this one, in my opinion, just got a 7-8 point win written all over it. I'm going to take a shot here with the Rockets plus the 11.5. Rockets haven't been just that terrible here this season. I know they dropped their last 2 and pretty convincingly to the Nuggets, 120-100, 129-113. But the 2 games before that, man, they beat Oklahoma straight up and they beat Atlanta straight up. I'm going to take a shot with the Rockets here. I think they could just maybe keep this one a little competitive. I think the Suns, off of that 51-point game from Booker in their last one, I don't think that they're really in blowout mode here tonight. We've seen them beat teams at home here recently, but not cover the spread like Utah 113-112 against Detroit 108-102. I think they do win comfortably, a 7-8 point win, but I like the Rockets plus the 11.5. I don't like laying double digits with teams. The Suns are a team that I would do it, but I'm not overly in love with the spot for them here today. I'll take the Rockets plus the points here in this matchup. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Indiana Pacers on the road facing the Utah Jazz. Jazz home favorites laying 5.5, total 238.5. Two surprising teams this season, man. I don't think anybody had these two teams to be 500 at this point of the season. I think a lot of people would have thought these two teams would be lottery teams. But they've both been fairly impressive this season. Indiana 12-9 on the season, Utah 13-11. Indiana, man, they've been playing some pretty good basketball, but here recently they've only won 2 of their last 5. They're in the middle now. This will be their 4th straight road game. I don't love this spot for them. Y'all know I love taking my Jazz at home, and that's what I'm going to do here in this one. I'm going to take the Jazz, and I'm going to lay the 5.5. I just think the Jazz, they play their best basketball at home. I think they only have, 2 or 3 losses at home this season. We've been all over the Jazz at home. We were on them in their last game at home. It was the perfect storm. They were coming off the long losing streak. They were back home against a banged-up Clippers team, and they did exactly what they were supposed to do, 125-112 in that one. Like I said, this Pacers team they're in the middle of a long road trip. Jazz play their best basketball at home. I think we just got to lay the points with the Jazz here in this one. Jazz are starting to get back in that flow after getting that win in their last one. I think they get back-to-back, and they cover the spread here today. So I'll lay the points with the Jazz in this one. I know the Pacers have been looking pretty decent here recently, but I'm not in love with the spot with their 4th road game in a row. Give me the Jazz. I'll lay the points. In our last and final game of the night, man, we got the Chicago Bulls on the road facing the Golden State Warriors. Golden State home favorites laying 7, total 235. Hey, y'all know how I feel. When we see the Warriors on the road, we look to fade them most of the time. When we see the Warriors at home, most of the time we look to take them. Warriors at home have been pretty dominant. They beat Utah at home in their last home game on the 25th of November, 129-118. They beat the Clippers at home, 124-107. We're going to look at what Chicago has done recently. Chicago is now in the midst. This will be their 5th straight road game. Terrible spot for them here in this one against a Warriors team who plays really good at home. The Bulls have won 3 of their last 5, and one of those wins is against Utah on the road, which is a really good road win. But then they got beat handedly 2 nights ago against the Phoenix Suns, 132-113. And I think another one might be in order here tonight. Give me the Warriors. I'll lay the 7. We know the Warriors play their best basketball at home. They lost a close one to the Mavericks the other night on the road. I think they get some get back against a Bulls team who typically struggles on the road as well. And they're on a long road trip. This is their 5th straight road game. Don't love the spot for the Bulls. Love the spot for the Warriors. I'll lay the 7 here in this matchup. And that's going to conclude tonight's NBA Jam session on December 2nd, 2022. Thank y'all for watching, man. Do me a favor. Smash that like button for your boy. Subscribe if you're new. Drop your like down in the comments as well, man. Scoop up my $15 NBA Jam session play. Link is in the description. $15 takes you right to it. Follow me on Twitter at ParlayGuyJ, man. I'll update y'all on any late injury news. Let y'all know if my mind changes on any of these games due to late injury news. And that's where I'll drop the parlay of the day. We didn't have one yesterday. There was only one game in the NBA. We got a nice card tonight, so I'll drop one tonight. We smashed it on Wednesday, so we want to try to go back-to-back on the parlay of the day. So follow me on Twitter for that. And let's make some money tonight, man. Everybody bet smart. Let's continue stacking units here in the NBA. Talk to y'all on Twitter, man. It's been your boy Jay Briggs. Thank y'all for watching. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow on the jam session, and I'm out. Peace.